This is Deductor, continuing the last spell into our first true mission. My last episode, towards the end, things got cut off there while I was in my overexcitement. I accidentally paused recording, but I will just go over some of the points I said briefly before we start the battle. I renamed the characters. Welcome Mortimer, welcome Goose God, welcome Okren. I redistributed some of the gear. So Okren the Poacher, you have the bow now. Mortimer, you still have your double hammers. And Goose God, you have the wand. And yeah, with that said, why don't we go ahead and get started? We know the zombos are coming from the east direction, northeast. So let's prepare ourselves to meet them in battle. Ooh. There's a lot of natural obstacles that are indestructible here that could help slow them down. Could be relevant. Alrighty. Mortimer, what can you do? Crush. That's right. Take that. That is right. So these things block line of sight. Gotta be careful of that. But this stuff doesn't. Oh, there's a minimum range here. Alright, Mortimer, what else can you do? You can run up and bash that one, but I don't think that would accomplish much. Let's move Okren to power shot these two. Then we will tuck Mortimer back here. Might as well use your armor. There's nothing else to do. Then Goose God just fires off. Ooh, Sword of Damocles. The offhand actually does more damage. Yeah, why don't you kill those two zombos? And that's it. First mission shouldn't be that hard. That's all right. I have a lot of action points left, but that's fine. Is it too late to just flee? Yes, yes it is. Mortimer, don't let them flee. Get him. Okay, there's a new enemy type. An armored zombie. High armor, low health. So, armor in this game, it's basically a health bar that regenerates every turn. But certain attacks do extra damage to it. Physical attacks, for example. So, Mortimer here is exceptionally good at just crushing these zombies. Oh, you're a barbarian, buddy. That's how you missed. You know what? You don't have any more. Even though I could give you more action points, you can only use the hammer 5 times. Oh, you have a. Oh, they changed this. The offhand attack is completely free. Hey. Okay, I feel like that changed. I feel like that was not how the offhand items work. Okay, that makes the offhand items way more attractive. Free attacks, like you can't turn that down, right? Okay. Let's do some power shots with Okren here. Then we can just do some normal shots. Let's slow this one down. Maybe slow this zombo down. Then we can decide what else to do. Sword of Damocles. And then just some other attacks. So I'm just gonna weaken a lot of the zombies right now. I think it can often be good to weaken enemies without necessarily killing them. Okren, you have 2 more shots with the bow. I keep forgetting to use the transfer first. This is because this isn't how that skill used to work before early access. This is part of the reason why I don't like to feature early access games. You learn like almost bad habits. So, all right, let's back everybody up. The best way to take damage is just not getting hit at all, right? All right, 45 zombos. This is everything on the map. We just got to figure out how to clean them up. Yes, crush, Mortimer, crush. There's another armored zombo there, but let's do something a little different here in Mortimer, and then a free attack. All right, one of these can come up and get him, so we need to make sure this zombie is at least injured. we do get a little mana back, so there's no reason not to use at least some of my mana. Maybe. That's only targeting 4. This doesn't seem very good. The tight volley seems a lot better. It's just a lot of these are injured, so they don't really do anything. Well, this is why the game lets you undo. You can position yourself wherever you want to see what's optimal. Just don't really see any optimal attacks here with this ability. Still, 4 is something, right? Why not? All right, then we can power shot this one. Let's do a magic missile. That is a multi-hit attack. Let's just finish these off. I'll get the 4 mana back. So it's perfectly fine to use. So I can come here. If I come here, I can't get out of the range of this armored zombie. Alright, so might as well just shoot. Injure this one so he can't get at Mortimer. The other ones are all pretty harmless. We can power shot one more. You know, maybe we can power shot the armored zombie away. Power shot very strong, as you can see. Alright, still have 2 action points left. Might as well just finish off these 2. Alright, no reason to move. Plenty more zombos. Okay, it's fine. Ooh, Mortimer, buddy, you gotta stop missing. Let's do that. A couple more zombies back there. Let's be a little careful. Ooh, Mortimer, buddy. I could do a transfer to give myself a little more action. So why don't we do that? Not only gives me more action points, I get more movement points. Transfer gives +2 movement, +1 action to another character, and +10% damage to myself. So it's a transfer of my action points with a slight upside. That does seem, in general, good. Okay, these zombies can't get at me. We will move up, start power shotting things. And then let's just finish these zombies off, or at least do enough damage that they can't do much else. Alright, armor regenerates every turn, so if you're gonna attack an armored enemy, try to finish them. Okay, well done, Okrin. That was a crit, by the way. Like, Okrin has that bonus to crit. Alright, let's see. Oh, Okrin doesn't have any more attacks. Okay, that was a completely wasted attack, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Alright, I'm just gonna play through the rest pretty quick, since we're in such a strong position. Actually, a couple more. Some of them might actually reach Mortimer. Huh. Alright, just defend yourself, buddy. You'll be alright, Mortimer. Ah, oh, can't see this one? Really? I mean, I don't actually have anything else to do with my action points, so... Alright, zombies are still coming, but... Mortimer just crushing everything. As is Okrin. One more in the fog. Why don't you finish it off, Mortimer? Alright. You get reward and resources based on how well you did. Also, experience. It used to be every character. Okay, yeah. So the more kills you got, you get a little more experience, and then you get a bunch of shared experience. So Mortimer here has 167 out of 293 experience, whereas Goose God only has 105 because he killed the least. So, you know, you could power level someone if you want to. I will say, as a practical matter, I don't know how much that actually matters in the game. Maybe at the higher levels, the difficulty levels or whatnot, it might matter, but it doesn't matter for these maps. So the better you do, the more resources you get. And you get some more night essences. That was indeed a very easy night, but it only gets harder. Huh. Night Survivor gets me a little more, and Murderer. A hero killed 20 enemies gives me a slight bonus to essences. That's interesting. I don't know how the special ones work. I also get an item because I did very well. All right, now we can talk about the strategy map, and it is not simple the way the strategy map works. So there's the usual leveling the characters, giving them items, etc., that we all know in Battle Brothers, but there's also a base building component, which is completely absent. In Battle Brothers, you just kill stuff, sell loot, buy whatever you want. There's really no complicated economy thing to talk about. Here, that is not true. There's, apparently I haven't unlocked most of the buildings, but there's a lot of different buildings. And then there's these houses, which will allow me to have more workers, and the workers can do various things. For example, as I kill enemies, there are piles of corpses. These can get me essences and gold or materials. Materials are like building base defenses. So essences, of course, very nice. According to the game, if I kill the monsters closer to base, I should get bigger piles. Maybe we'll consider doing that, but we'll see. We'll see. I think it's generally best to try to kill the monsters out here as much as possible. Just like the small advantages from the bigger corpses, at least at this stage of the game, I don't think matters. You don't want the monsters to get into the town and start wrecking things. So you have to decide what to do with your workers and your gold. I could expand my houses so I can get more workers. There are, the number of nights you have to survive is the number of pips here, so I have to survive 7 nights. Night 2, it's probably a good idea to get more economy. Night 6, you're basically done. Why are you like getting more economy going, right? So there's that element to consider. There's a shop. If I could just spend all my money here for all my characters, and that'd be good for them, but then I might struggle to keep up with the escalating enemy waves. So I think liking a lot of base builders type games, like you want to get resources early and then transition to more combat focused gear. But at the same time, we should probably take a look, see if there's anything particularly interesting. A shield, for example, could be good. Shortbow +1, now that's real interesting. Weapons have different base damage, right? The shortbow +1 has a pretty noticeably higher damage, like 79 to 122. The upper range is a lot more. So for weapons, I generally just want like the higher tier, the more damage. The extra effects, like the +25 armor, it's nice, it's whatever. So we also get a free item from the night reward. Let's see what the free item is. All right, got 3 choices. We have a trinket that gives us health and health regen, something called propagation damage, which we can't use. That's a later on thing. Just get a nasal helmet. Oh, the classic nasal helmet, like in Battle Brothers. A little more health, a little more resistance. Experience gain. That's valuable at this stage of the game. Greaves, a lot of armor and health, and a little more crit and movement. That's pretty powerful. A little less dodge, but with this, you just like would tank things straight up a lot more. +5% critical is nothing to scoff at. None of my characters have a helmet though. Like the helmet's a flat buff, whereas this is actually not quite as big of a buff because the other characters do actually already have pants. So I feel like nasal helmet's the way to go. And we should give it to Mortimer. Yes. Look at that. Look at that fashion right there. Beautiful looking helmet for a beautiful looking barbarian. There's a gazillion ways to customize. Can you configure it so you don't see the helmet? I don't want to click on any of these. I don't want to reset. That would be very unfortunate. So if anybody in the comments know there's a way to configure it so you don't see the helmet, let me know. Personally, I kind of wish there isn't, just like in Battle Brothers. I mean, if you equip a helmet, you're stuck with that look. So your choices are, you want to go Game of Thrones, nobody has a helmet, and everybody gets one shot by like a hit in the head, or you actually want to, you know, wear protective equipment. That's the choice. What matters more to you? All right, let's do some level ups on Mortimer here. Level ups are randomized, more so than in Battle Brothers. There's a pool of primary and secondary attributes, and it rows ways to buff them. And furthermore, some rows are more like give you a bigger bonus than others. So right now I wrote a better bonus for critical percentage on Mortimer. So like in theory, I get more value out of that overall, especially if I'm going some sort of crit build. It's not terrible. I have Savage, I have critical power there, so I could just do a lot of crit. Or I could take something like just raw damage, that's always good. I feel like with Mortimer, I need accuracy. You saw me miss a bunch. Missing is 0 damage, and I love like just being super consistent and reliable in this game. You don't always see the same attributes. There's a lot more. How do you see the attributes? There's a way to do it. I think you have to get through the level up screen. So I'll just pick the accuracy. I think that's more valuable, especially on Mortimer. Confirm that. If you don't like something, you can re-roll it. But just like the text says, you have fewer choices. So if you re-roll once, you get 3 choices. And if you re-roll again, you get 1 choice. You're stuck with it. Probably not a great thing to like gamble on too much. Okay, I get a lot of these rares. So range damage, I don't know that this is a range character right now. Poison damage, I can't even do that at this stage in the game. Multi-hit, this is stuff like the magic missile spell that Goose God has. Not going to use multi-hit on Mortimer. Daily health regen, could be something. Stun. I actually can do stun on the hammer. The special ability has a stun chance. That seems smart to me, to buff the stun chance. The other ones are all kind of meh. Stunning monsters can be very, very powerful. And perks, all right. Just like in Battle Brothers, what do we want? We could get some more daily mana regen so I can spam my abilities more. That's pretty good. But there's up to a limit, so up to 25%. I feel like that limit is new. It didn't used to be there. But regardless, it's a nice little mana bonus. Steady aim. I'm not using ranged weapons, but you know, it could be good. Cheer. This is nice. It's just a free buff to another character for plus 15% damage, as long as you remember to use it. Like unconditional plus 15% damage. That sounds pretty good to me. Leapfrog, this is a mobility thing. You can jump over obstacles and enemies. This is surprisingly useful. Quick reload. This is like if I run out of charges on a weapon, I can use this to restore it. I don't think I have to worry about that stuff right now. I also like this fatality. It seems kind of weak where you just execute an enemy under a certain threshold of health, but that actually happens a lot more than you might think. And you can preview the rest of the abilities in the tree. These abilities are actually random, like at least it used to be. Okay, it's still how that works. So if you check like Okren here, your last ability is Berserk, but on Mortimer it's Boom. So they're not the same. You can't. So this is a dynamic perk tree. That is not the case in Battle Brothers, although I understand it's like in the Legends mod. Not that I ever played that. There are sometimes some really sick combos. Like look at Okren here. Oakren has a combo where I can turn all my armor into health, and then I have a perk where every 10 health after 100 gives me extra physical damage. So Oakren is actually, despite being a poacher with a bow right now, you actually have the most insane physical damage potential in the game. Something for us to consider later on. So it can sometimes be worth checking through the perk tree because it's randomized to plan your build. But these are like late game builds, right? So we might want to just be careful not to do much planning for the late game. We know Mortimer is never going to be a good archer, so it can't hurt to go down the physical route, even if you don't have the most sick combo potential. All right, so many like choices. It's just sometimes the perks are hard to decide, you know. I'm just gonna go with fatality. I think that could be useful. All right, Goose God, what are you gonna be? Huh? You can learn block, so you can tank. That is interesting. That is very, very interesting. There's no reason why you can't tank with a wand. Is there anything else you have that helps you tank? Spiky counter. If you have block, you can do extra damage. Although you lose a lot of dodge. You're basically never dodging. I don't know if I like that, but it could be strong. You have some ability to make your range weapons better. I want to say the skill range applies to anything with range, like this includes the magic missile from the wands. You can also do some of these other abilities. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of having you learn a little block. It's flat damage reduction, so it's, what's the analogy in Battle Brothers? It's, Indom, I guess. There's not really a good analogy in Battle Brothers. So like if enemy would do 10 damage, I would negate it by 3. So I mean by 7, so I'd be down to 3. That's pretty sick. But if enemy does 100 damage, this wouldn't do much. But so the more you stack, the better. I'm gonna pick the block. Why not? And then what else? Isolation is a special like attacks targets that aren't next to other targets. This can be strong later on. More mana regen is always good. Reliability is, let me see if Mortimer, okay, now I can actually see the attributes. So the primary attributes, I guess, are right here. Health, mana, AP, movement, dodge, resistance, all this stuff. So I guess you pick 5 out of the 12 to roll for. It's possible to roll for stuff like more AP. It's actually pretty insane if you get like stuff like that. And here's the secondary stuff. It's a lot more secondary stuff, it seems. So reliability is like weapons have a damage range, right? So if you have 100% reliability, you always do max damage. And every little bit towards 100% increase the minimum damage. So it's basically more damage. It's effectively more damage. Mana regen though, spamming those big mana abilities is not a bad idea. Health regen, the problem is you have a trait that counteracts that. Not loving it. Maybe we just go with a little more mana regen to spam your spells. That will probably just give me more damage in the long run. And perks, what would help you tank? I do kind of like steady aim. I don't know if you're going to be stuck using a bow in the long run. You could always tank with a wand and a shield. It's not actually insane. So maybe we'll go with that. Sprint is always very, very good. Trading health for movement. Movement is not easy to get, and we might go for a spiky counter. And then something like vampire to get more health back. Haven't figured that out. Like, we could definitely get value out of this steady aim. We could do proximity shot. Think about that. Wand, shield. This is like, oh, this is only with range attacks though. Yeah, I don't think this... Ooh, look at that mana shield. Every 2 mana spent, plus 3 block. So many interesting things that you could do with these characters. Nimbleness. Flexibility. I mean, it's just so much, so many things. Let's just go with steady aim. Enough talk. All right, Okran, what are you gonna do? You also learned block. I was gonna make you a kind of a physical character. Now I kind of regret taking block on Goose God. So one of the things I used to do was I would just go through all the characters, see like what they're rolling, and then decide what to do. You are almost certainly, because of this bodybuilder organic armor combo, going some sort of physical thing, even though you have a bow right now. So I want to go down that line. And I don't hate just like taking block on you as well. You're gonna have 2 tanks. Reliability, this rolled a little better, so I think I'll just pick that. Although you do have a very good critical percentage from your basic trait. So critical power. Do you have anything else that like combos? Critical runes. Spam your spells. Oh boy. You know what? Let's go with critical power. Bigger numbers. Okay, perks. Harvester. That kind of is anti-synergistic a little bit with critical runes. Well, not really. Harvester is like mana regen at the end. Cheer is always pretty good. Sprint. You're already very quick though. I don't know that we need sprint. I could just do a cheer, give you, you can buff someone else's damage a little bit. That's not bad. All right, so look at that. It took so long to just make those decisions. We haven't even gotten into the actual base building or the other stuff yet. All right, so got essences to spend. Yes. I don't understand what you're talking about. All right, this being is going to enlighten us. Okay, I'm just going to skip most of this dialogue. It's not particularly interesting. Basically, she's going to say that killing stuff is how I power up my world. All right, so I have 600 essences. I can spend it rather. I can unlock new weapons. I can give my character a little more mana. I personally like the idea of unlocking new weapons. I do like the swords. And I like the tome, I'm thinking. It's a magical item. All right, fantastic. So I have no more money, no more essences for that. Early on, the decisions are very simple. Then I have some workers. I could assign them to just excavate the runes and get me a little more money, or I could excavate these corpses. I think I'll excavate the runes because it can give, first of all, I need space to actually build stuff. And second of all, it can give me materials to build up my base. So that. And was there any good new gear? I think I want to buy at least 1 shield. Might as well buy the cheaper shield. I don't care about poison damage. Momentum is we don't have any weapons that can use it right now, so I'll just buy the cheaper shield. Don't think I necessarily need like a potion of health, potion of mana, any of that stuff. There are scrolls. You get, oh, look at that, Death Ray. You can get special ability, super spin. Oh, that's the ability of the great axe. It is satisfying to use, but you have to be in the middle of everything. It's the round swing, but like so much more satisfying. I can buy a second bow. Bows are just like solid weapons at this stage of the game. But let's upgrade these houses to have more workers. That's the most valuable thing to do. So now I can scavenge a little more. I don't think there are any more upgrades I can do. So I can save my money too, but I'm gonna get this bow. I think I'll save the rest of my money. I could build a mana well, but to get mana back, but I don't need any of that. So I think the mana well, if I remember correctly though, it can permanently increase max mana. Huh. I don't really think that's that valuable. I'd much rather collect like weapons and stuff. All right, so I can just equip the shield in the offhand slot, still get that +4 block. And let's give the bow to Mortimer so you have 2 different attacks. So lots of flexibility here. Oh, actually no, I shouldn't do that. I should give the better short bow to Okren, and Mortimer will use the worst short bow because that's his, like, they're technically just the equivalent weapons, but I suspect Mortimer is going to use the mace a lot more, at least for now. All right, I could build up my basic defense a little bit, add some walls and stuff since zombies are coming this way. Why don't we do I have gates? Yes. Okay, so why don't we just wall off most of this stuff, maybe like that, and save the rest of the materials. This way, if somehow the zombies get over here, we have some defenses to hold them back. Then we want to position our characters, Okren, Mortimer, and Goose God, to prepare for the zombie assault. We could even put Goose God, because he got some block, a little more up front. If you absorb a hit or two, that's perfectly fine. Put Mortimer in the back, and maybe we'll put Okren here as a flexibility position. So I think this is all good. It's been a long enough episode, so let's call it here, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.